Today I'm going to be making one of my three versions of pork shoulder. The first is a smoked pork shoulder where I wrap at 165 and then let it go to around 205. The second version is I do in the oven as a braise or in a crock pot over a bed of onions with apple cider vinegar and chicken stock and garlic. And the one I'm doing today is a combination. It's a smoke and braise. So I will be smoking until 165, and instead of wrapping it, I'm going to put this into a pan over a bed of onions, garlic, apple cider vinegar, and chicken stock, and then let it braise in the oven until I get to that magic 203 to 205, and then give it a good shred. Doesn't get much smoke after you wrap anyway. I know a lot of people don't wrap their pork shoulders. I do. I have good luck with the bark. It comes out as a great product. So here's my rub for today. It's 2 tablespoons of black pepper, 3 tablespoons of kosher salt, a half tablespoon of achiote, a half tablespoon of Mexican oregano, and a cup of brown sugar. For my binder, I'm going to be using Worcestershire sauce and yellow mustard. For the rub, I kept about a third of it back, and I will, with most pork shoulders that I cook, all pork shoulders that I'm using for pulled pork, when we shred it, we'll add the rub back into the shredded pork as we mix it up and shred it, and it just gives a big boost of flavor to that pulled pork when you add rub to it. Since I sort of have a Mexican profile going with this, with the achiote and the Mexican oregano, I'm going to be smoking with oak, and then I've got some chunks of mesquite that I'm going to be putting on just to give it that great flavor that mesquite can add, but I don't want it to be overpowering. So a good coat of the rub, all sides. That brown sugar in there is going to make a nice bark, which is fantastic when you start shredding up and you got nice crispy chunks of that good bark in there. I have the smoker going at 300 degrees. I'm going to maintain that temperature for a few hours until I hit my 165, and then we'll get it in and get it on into the pan and in the oven. So into the smoker for a little while. So while it's smoking, trying to get to 165, we're going to prep our braising pan. I have 5 cloves of minced garlic and a half of a large yellow onion, which I'm slicing very thin on a mandolin. This is the lowest level on my mandolin that makes the onion slices almost translucent. You can just see through them. So it's like a shaved onion. When we spread that out in the bottom, once it's done cooking down after several hours, the onions just basically fall apart inside the meat, and you don't even know the onions are there other than adding the flavor. So you see, nice shave, very thin, and we'll spread it all around, and then we'll add our liquid component for the braising. So we're going to add a cup of chicken stock and 1 cup of apple cider vinegar. So we hit our 165, put the pork shoulder right in on top of those onions, and then we're going to put it in the oven, our regular oven in the house, at 300 degrees, and we're going to cook that until we get 205. And here it is, it's just shredding perfectly. We'll add our rub in as we shred it, and we have some perfectly done pork shoulder.